So you've always wondered how I made those Game Genie videos with an actual NES. Well, now you can know how I do it. First ingredient, an actual 8-bit Nintendo. This one I personally rebuilt myself. New card edge connector. Runs great. Then of course I have my old ancient... This was my first decent computer right here. What's really left of it. It's really nothing more than the case left. With a Pentium powered PC inside. Or actually an underclocked K62, but it runs like a freaking Pentium 1. So it's 200 megahertz, 64 megs of RAM, running Windows 98 Second Edition. There's my hard drive camera perch. I got the snazzy software on the desktop. And it's pretty amazing what I have to go through to actually capture footage of games. This piece of software is actually a literal piece of shit. It works, but it's a piece of crap. Right here what I'm doing, even though I'm using an emulator for this, normally I'm using my 8-bit Nintendo on my TV set to get this one done. What generally is done here is... I had to hold a microphone close so I can actually get the input on this. Basically what I do is I just go through the codes and figure out what ones work, what ones don't, experiment around, make up a few new ones maybe, I don't know, and look for any ill-gotten, crazy, humorous, or otherwise weirdo effects that happen inside the game. Once I find some codes that do, then it's time to get down to the nitty-gritty and actually record the darn thing. Or even as I'm going to do next, try and figure out exactly if there's any way we can alter the code to make it actually do something highly more amusing somehow, which I will come to in just a minute. And sometimes I just go to my channel and look around, you know. Basically, sometimes some person will leave me a comment, like Classic TV Fan 82 has been doing. He's got a new request for AOPOAA and OOPOPA. And it basically changes all the music to underwater music or whatever. I'll probably do that video later on when I have more time for this. This is really quite a heavy undertaking for me. Alright, now let's talk about the Game Genie decoder applet that I use. Here's the URL for it. If I can get it all to light up. There we go. Yes, I am an amateur at using desktop capture programs. Anyway, let's roll this back up here. Oh, actually, I might go ahead and keep all this extra crap out of the window except what needs to be seen. Basically put here, this is the encoder decoder applet. EmuWorks. Use Nintendo code thing here. What I use this for is basically to find similar codes, say ESS, V, AN. You know, that's one of my music codes that I pulled from the Mario.txt list actually, which I'll show you that in a second. Basically what you see here is it takes the Game Genie code you punched in right here and converts it into the value in the address to which that value is assigned by the device. If you have two more numbers here, like IU, so we add an IU to it, it gives a compare bit, which I don't really know what it really truly does. I just know it makes a difference and actually allows for some more complex and more difficult to pull off effects. You can also change the code below by changing the address. Say if we wanted to write it to 64EI. Now we have EIG ETV, and maybe say we want to change the value to FF. Or how about we want to change it to 0A, and then change it to that. Now we actually have something readable. It's been a while since I've dealt with hexadecimal, so you gotta bear with me, folks. You gotta bear with me. Okay, now here comes the insano part. What I gotta go through with that cantankerous piece of shit called Dazzy Snazzle Amigo. Granted, this is my fault. I'm using a old beat-up computer with a $1 DV capture card that was made in 1997 by some little hole-in-the-wall company named LA Vision that you've probably never heard of. But that's what I use, because it's cheap and it works. Anyway, because this is such a cheap card, I gotta go through quite a bit of crap to actually get it to work. You see, the Game Genie itself uses a default refresh rate that is slightly substandard. It'll work with a TV set, but not with a digital device like this thing. So I usually have to turn on the game firsthand and then turn on the thing afterward, but lo and behold, it worked because I pre-prepped. Usually what I have to do is insert the cartridge and, insert the cartridge without the Game Genie, turn into the record mode, using the little side buttons that are over that away, and then I have to go ahead and take that out and quickly swap over to the Game Genie, which, as you'll see, doesn't leave me with a whole lot of time to do very much if I stick here too long. Although it's really seeming quite stable today, so I don't know. Maybe it's just because I have cold air blowing through the machine. Anyway, we go back here, play some Super Mario Brothers. See how that Super Mario Brothers 3 code works on the first game. I have my speakers enabled so I can make sure the audio's getting recorded. And oh, I'm freaking owned right off the bat. That's what I get for trying to watch this from Windows Movie Maker with its very slow, but you get the point. Basically, I play through the game, and there you go. See, that's why I do this and put it on video. And anyway, what I do is I go ahead and capture a video of whatever effect it is. Say SSA. Oh, there it goes. There's the refresh rate problem beginning. Just watch as it barrels off into a god-awful 70 Hertz freak-out session. Well, I won't let it get that far. I'll start playing games beforehand. Again. Let you see what is a wonder. Now we have the swimmy code, and it also starts you about mid-level. Isn't this awesome? A little bugger swim. Swimming his ass off in the sky. Doesn't get more surreal than that, folks. I actually toyed with going over that, but I really didn't feel like. Basically, this is the point where I capture all my video and then I go ahead and do all the last bits of processing and editing. And I'll get to that in just a minute, and that's pretty much the last part of how I capture my video. Just a few more seconds of Mario just for shits and grins. And of course, all this is taken care of using Windows Movie Maker on my XP based PC that I built at the beginning of this year. And it's all sort of edited and cut and chopped and hacked together. This has got to be the most complex Movie Maker video I have ever made for YouTube. I know it's probably got me being a little flaky in some parts, but well, it's late, it's night before where I should be sleeping for work, and well, you know. And as for my little comment earlier when I was talking about the decoder software, I was supposed to say letters, not numbers, but then of course those letters represent numbers. Just so you don't know, I'm a complete and total ignoramus when it comes to that stuff. But yeah, Windows Movie Maker, and time for me to let this video travel off into the light.